Hello folks, my name is AP the Weird One. Remember when I made a video in which I said Pokemon Gold and Silver was S tier? Less than a week later, I would come to regret that decision, or so I think. In order to prove my hypothesis, or disprove it, let's do a Let's Play of Pokemon Silver. So, with no further ado, let us begin. Alright, the time currently is 9 o'clock, and for me as in Arizona, it is 9:09. Yes, typically this would be considered oversleeping for me, as I wake up about 5:30 or earlier. That's just how my day is. I go to bed early and I wake up early. So, we're gonna try to skip through the introduction as fast as possible and get to our main journey. I mean, you guys should know what Pokemon are, and I just want to give my overall, just have a little fun. The reason I'm not doing a live stream, because I need a little bit more practice for, talking to myself, and I'm not sure if my computer will handle it. We're going to stick with the name Silver. We're not going to do my name, but my rival we're going to have a little fun with. As around the time Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, a certain Let's Player had an influence on a couple of my team members back then. So I want to give a shout out to him. Here's our lovely house and our classic layout. The game seems to be moved kind of fast from when I remember, but... well, yes. Yes, Professor Elm wants to come and see me. And my gear is sick. Good, yes. It is indeed a Sunday. I'm indeed... no, it's not. Daylight saving times. Here in Arizona, we don't recognize daylight saving time. Yeah, that's right. We're only, I think, one of the few states in the country. I believe even Hawaii also doesn't recognize daylight savings time. I think there is parts of Arizona, I think in the Indian country, maybe they recognize it, but for us, we don't. Although I'm not 100% sure. It would seem kind of weird if they do recognize it. Kind of the good old days seeing the graphics. I wish Pokemon Company would bring us back to this. Oh yes, and then there's this loser. Kick us away. How rude. And so now we're getting right into the thing. I think, I don't know, in terms of Professor Elm, in terms of style, I thought he was okay. Just a young research, kind of maybe my age or a little bit younger. We have 3 choices, and after we pick our choice... nope, I don't want that one. No, I do not want Chikorita. I'll explain why. Oh, it's the middle one? Okay. Cynical, I also don't want you. I have another plan for a fire type. I want you, Totodile. Yes. I want the elusive crocodile, or alligator Totodile. Of course I'll give it a nickname, but of course it is also male. What to give it a name? I don't know, the first thing I can think of on the top of my head is Jake, so let's name it Jake. Yes, thank you. Yes, if you're healing, which is kind of nice. Not to go trek back to a Pokemon Center. So got phone numbers. From my growing up, I would not get a cell phone until I was in high school. Just because I didn't think my parents knew what I was going to do back then. So if I was going to be in sports or anything. No, I was also a very chubby kid and still chubby to this day. But they just wanted me to have a cell phone just in case. And I accidentally had it go off in one class one time. Meant to turn it off, but I didn't. I forgot. Anyway, let's start with the adventure and talk about our 3 starters. In my opinion, they are the worst starters to this date, even in terms of like even competitively. Their kind of sets are kind of really bad, and they don't have a lot of functionality to them. Typhlosion, just kind of a basic-ass fire type, and he doesn't have very good physical attack to make use of others, and he just doesn't have a large move pool. Totodile is... I like Totodile in terms of design and everything, but he is also very slow, although he did get with his hidden ability, and Dragonance did make him a lot better, but he's still very slow. He's even slower than Meganium, which is kind of sad, and Meganium is just kind of slowish and also not very, it doesn't hit very hard, even though its offensive stats are better than that of trying to think Tinkerton, but just Tinkerton's typing is a lot better and has a lot of stronger move pool. I really do like Meganium, but having done a playthrough of Heart Gold in which you don't use like fire types, electric types, ice types, or water types, you start to see its weakness and start seeing how not very good offensively. Also, that game is a bit of a pain to grind. So I'm kind of taking a break from Meganium, and I do have another grass type I kind of want to use, or at least swap out with. So we'll show this grass type, and I actually will kind of defend this grass type a little bit. I think it gets a little more hate than it should have, and especially at the time. Alright, sure, show me. I think this person gives me the map, and in the remakes they gave the running shoes. I remember that for sure. Although I think you kind of move pretty fast in these older games, but it is also nice to have the running shoes later on. And we'll be heading up north pretty soon. Anyway, and for this kind of first part, we'll just basically we're gonna clock our rival. After we beat him, we'll kind of stop there, or at least after we name him anyway. And we'll talk about his get the map card. This is also probably you could skip it, but I won't because sometimes having a map is nice. Anyway, let's make our way to G North and meet Mr. Pokemon. I'm using an Xbox One controller, so if there are certain things that feel kind of off, or it's most likely the controller. Get a berry, and I think we can also go in here and get another berry from Mr. Bear himself. Yes, give me one, yes. I'd like a berry. I believe this person gives an apricot. No, he still gives a berry. I think it's the thing next to him that gives an apricot. Which is what got introduced in this game, but the berries are a little bit harder to find. A team member we're gonna catch a little bit later, though the wrong sex anyway. We want a male version. As for one of my team members later on, I want to get a certain move on it, even though it's not necessary, but it's nice to have some type coverage. Could probably figure out what it is. Of course, I don't know. she poisoned me. The enemy always manages to poison me. Anyway, alright, yes, continue to do your stupid stream shit. Goodbye. Anyway, you've leveled up. I'm gonna go do a quick heal, just so after long to deal with poison. As far as my Pokemon adventure goes, I started with originally Pokemon Blue, and my starter at the time was, I believe, Bulbasaur. I'm not 100% sure. I do know like the closest Pokemon back in the day was a Venusaur. I got to manage level 95. That was the closest I would ever get to a level 100 until Gen 4 in Pokemon Platinum. From after, I would play all 3, including Pokemon Yellow, and then I would get Pokemon Gold as my first choice, not Silver, because I like the Pokemon you can get in that game. I also remember having a very old Japanese book that had the Pokemon, but just had their Japanese name or whatever. It was pretty cool. I wish I still had it. I have other older magazines, but just not that booklet, which would have been kind of nice. It was a kind of nice book. And we'll just continue on. I'll probably keep most of the stuff in, and then the next episode I'll probably kind of a whole bunch of grinding, because I do want to grind my. When we get a Weedle, we'll grind it to a Kakuna. I guess talking about Pokemon anyway, one of the reasons I kind of like wish they would return back to this game is honestly the artwork. You know, being a Digimon fan currently with Digimon New Century and the Digimon card game, they actually have some really good artwork, and sometimes just seeing a Pokemon in an old school artwork or even a new one would be kind of nice to have. And that's kind of why I like the old school, something old school, just in terms of the look. Legends Arceus was nice in that it was kind of returned to basics, but you could still level up their stats or whatever through the rocks. So that was kind of nice. I would love to see it return to form. But no, Pokemon companies thinks that we gotta just move forward and never go back, even though it is kind of popular to have old school looks with such as Octopath Traveler 2 and even Dragon Quest 3 Remake, which is in production. It's kind of nice to go back to this, and I think a lot of people from my generation would love to see the old school graphics. Nostalgia can be both a good thing and a bad thing if used correctly. And we're at Mr. Pokemon's house. We're gonna need this guy in the future. We have been given a mystery egg. Oh, you sore Pokemon that come out of it. You would not become better until 4th generation, and I did not realize until I used one that it was so good. And of course, we also have Professor Oak. Yes, researching. Yeah, I told out rare Pokemon. Rare doesn't mean necessarily be good. Alright, thank you. And also another thing is just kind of this old school music. I don't know, I think the soundtrack for the newer stuff, I think it's been okay, but nothing kind of beats this kind of old school sounds. And hopefully the volume for this is not too loud. I'll listen to myself and see if I need to lower on future things. Oh, press round. Guess what is it? Oh yeah, someone broke in. Yes, hurry back. I said, actually, in the meantime, before we go, I want to... Actually, no, not yet. I'm gonna try to avoid as many Pokemon battles as possible. We're all good and dandy. Alright, we're out of clear, and so now I'm going to equip my Pokemon with... Oh, here we have one. Oh, you do have a... It comes with a berry, okay. Alright, time to go transfer... Oh, I guess we can save quickly, just in case. One of the things I remember, like, Gen 4 saying that the load times are really slow, and I don't think so. Anyway, after we beat him, we're going to stop for the day, and we'll continue later. Yes, let's challenge our rival, and you're going to have... You have Chikorita. Being a Chikorita lover is hard. Trust me, I know. I've been down this road before. One thing I should recall is, back in the day, I thought Chikorita, or at least Bayleaf, could use Fly, but because I just was never ballsy as a kid to try it, I thought, I think on the and I think it was from a guidebook that it could learn Fly. And so because I was never ballsy, I never got one. I never experimented. I believe that isn't true. Just speaking on the move Rage, we're gonna be testing this theory a little bit. We're gonna try some interesting moves. One of the team members we have is gonna have the move Bide, and I kind of want to experiment with that. You know. See if are some moves really as bad, and depending on the situation, because there are some Pokemon in this game that are quite tough. Alright, with that, with our rival defeated, we're going to save here, and I'm going to see you next time. We're going to name our rival, and we're also going to catch our first temporary team member in the form of a Weedle. So see you guys then.